Well, greetings, our city church. This is John Borman with today's midweek message. We are continuing Revelation, and this week it's chapter 17, 18, and 19. And let me tell you, it gets pretty intense. This is the final bowls. This is the final wrath of God toward those who've been shaking their fist at him. And while it's intense, there is no question as to who comes out on top. In chapter 17, it begins with a series, mostly in 19, of some pretty encouraging scriptures. This is chapter 17, verse 14, after he's described the enemies of the Lord. These will make war with the Lamb, and the Lamb will overcome them. For he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and those who are with him are called, chosen, and faithful. Well, that's us. And so let's continue to lean in these times, regardless of whether we reach these times or not. Fixing our eyes on Jesus is the answer. And then as we get into chapter 19, there's this verse after verse of encouragement of who the victor is, and that we all get to rally. I want to highlight something that really stood out to me toward the end of chapter 19. If you recall, when Jesus was crucified, they put a sign over him on the cross. It was basically mocking him, saying, "Jesus, King of the Jews." Well, in chapter 19, he's riding in on a horse, and he himself treads the winepress of the fierceness and wrath of Almighty God, and he has on his robe and on his thigh a name written, King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Well, there's no mockery there. It's who he actually is and who he always has been. What he endured for us, to bring back home his children, when this is who he has been all along, is amazing, that he humbled himself to the point of death on a cross so that these times could come. And so we're in amazing times. And those who endure to the end will be saved, and that's us. And if we fix our eyes on him, there's a great marriage supper. These last couple chapters of Revelation are going to show us what it is that we're looking forward to. This has never been a fair fight. God has always been in control. There's a certain way that it needs to be done, and that's what he has done. And so we can rejoice. I'm so grateful that John was shown the blueprint of how the end times will go, so that we can read and not be deceived and not be discouraged, and fix our eyes on Jesus, knowing that he overcomes in the end. So we encourage you this week. Wednesday night we have our midweek service, 5:30. There'll be some great food. We'll be covering these very chapters, 17, 18, and 19 of Revelation. We'll discuss it together, which is such a great way to go over this book. And then Saturday, we'll have the 5:30 service with Pastor Dunn will continue his sermons on Revelation. So I encourage you to be part of what we're doing here. As the phrase has been all along, we begin with the end in mind, and the end, it's just so fun to be able to read the end of this book, because we win. And that's an amazing thing because of who Jesus is. So I pray that you have a blessed week, and we'll see you Wednesday night and Saturday. And let's lean in and let's come together on this. These are interesting, amazing times, and we win. Bless you.